What is going on, everyone out there in our MNC Hoops? Hey, CJ, I don't know if you know this or not, but I just got the notification that MNC Hoops is live on YouTube. So it's a great day. It's a great way to end the new or the old year, I guess, 2024, I guess we'll say. Of course, we are, it's 9:30, basically my time. I know some of you guys may be West Coast or Central time as well. So bear with us. We're going to try to bring in the New Year's, maybe not up till midnight, but we're going to talk some NBA as we get up there. But before we get going into the NBA talk, first of all, this is the first time I've talked to you guys, and of course you, CJ, more importantly, since Christmas. So hopefully you had a Merry Christmas. Hopefully the holiday's been good to you, and of course, Happy New Year. I want to go ahead and greet that for you as well. But how you been doing?
Doing well. Merry Christmas to all the MNC fam. Merry Christmas to you, bro. Had a really good Christmas. Just at the Knicks game, Knicks Spurs.
I've seen that. That's pretty cool.
I had a great time, great experience. I'll talk about that a little bit more when we dive into the recap of the day. But yeah, my Christmas was good. Christmas went well. Yeah, so I was definitely grateful.
Good. Any great presents for you?
I mean, I feel like the Knicks game was the best one. I don't think there's anything that would be able to top that. You know, that experience, getting up, watching the Knicks game on TV on Christmas Day for forever, it feels like. And then, finally to be able to go do it on Christmas and see Wembanyama, and that's actually a really good team now, the Knicks, and how we're playing. It was and how the game went too. It was a special day. Always definitely remember that one.
What's up, Johnny? Happy New Year to you, man. Thanks for tuning in. And, of course, Nick in here saying working on New Year's Eve. Wow, well, it's good to hear from you, Nick. Happy New Year to you as well. We've been keeping up with what you've been doing there on some of your streams as well, man.
Happy New Year's, bro. Yeah, I just got off just a couple hours ago, man. It don't stop. You know what I mean? It don't stop. So we here. Yes, sir, brother. Good to see you.
One good thing about being the manager at my store where I work, I'm supposed to work tomorrow, but I talked a part-timer in taking my shift. So, just don't have to worry about that now. So I was trying to be nice and work to New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But one of my workers like, hey, kind of hard up from cash, said, hey, you can have my shift. It's fine. Like that's okay. So now I got tomorrow off and spend time with the family. So
that's good.
And it's okay.
Sounds good, brother.
So, CJ, let's jump into some NBA. What we got for our first topic here? We just do the live coverage.
Yeah, let's just dive into the live coverage. Really, just break down some of the scores that's going on in the NBA.
Okay. Of course, on my phone right now, I'm watching the OKC game. Of course, we are trailing Timberwolves right now. It's 56-51. I'm sure you've got some stuff you're about to pull up here. Actually, apparently yours is a little bit more up to par than my internet on my phone, as always. But
so right now we've got the Timberwolves and the Thunder, 62-53, third quarter, 8:30 left, and counting. I actually got the game on the NBA app. Shout out League Pass, man. League Pass is when you pre-order 2K, you get League Pass for the full year for free. So that's just one of the best investments to be able to watch these games and see some games like it's really underrated, really good games that may be on that people sleep on. The League Pass, I can see all of that. Then you got the Cavs and the Lakers. LeBron, first game being 40, going up against his old team that he started with, that he won a championship to. And the storylines are there. I don't really know how much the media built this up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really watch daily national sports media news cycles like I used to. Kind of outgrew that. But this is this storyline in the making right here, where you could set this up. Donovan Mitchell, where the Cavs are playing right now, 7-game win streak trying to get to 8 games, trying to stop LeBron and what they got going on. Just made a big trade. Just got rid of a good player. So they're trying to change some things up, and the Cavs want to spoil that little moment for LeBron, and the Lakers want to try to spoil the Cavs win streak. So definitely going to be locked into that one in a little bit.
We got a question in here real quick, and it's pointed towards you from Nick. How we feeling about Atlanta this year? Trey looking like one of the best PGs in the league. CJ.
Yeah, Trae Young's playing great. I had put a tweet out about Jalen Johnson the other night when they went up against the Bulls and they come back. I think they were down like 16 with a few like 3 or 4 minutes left, and they let the comeback end up winning the game. Jalen Johnson went crazy. I think Trae Young seeing that, Dyson Daniels leading the league in steals, leading the league in total steals. DeAndre Hunter, they built the team the right way, bro, and they put excellent two-way wings around Trae Young, and then you have a lob threat and a rebounder in Clint Capella or Onyeka Okongwu. So you got to give Landry Fields a lot of credit. He's done a really good job trying to build this team out. Trae Young is known to play make. Jalen Johnson's development is going to be key for the Atlanta Hawks, and hopefully, if they can get anything out of their first pick in this year's draft from this year, then the sky's the limit for this team once everybody can gel. And I'm glad they stuck with Trae. There was so many rumors he should go here. They would get rid of him. On here we said it doesn't make any sense. Why would you get rid of a point guard? It's when you have a team with a bunch of forwards. You need somebody to get those guys the basketball, make things easier. So I'm glad it's working out for Atlanta. Still got to figure some things out. Quinn Snyder, hell of a coach, did some great things in the Western Conference. So yeah, they're playing well. They're playing well. Then we got the Grizzlies and Phoenix. Grizzlies, losing, they lost some guys due to injuries. Have a tough stretch, but the beauty of the Grizzlies is those guys that people may underestimate and may think that they won't play well. They've had a lot of minutes because Ja missed a lot of time last year. So and they brought in some new guys as well, but some of those players that were there last year that had to step up and produce and learn how to play in extended minutes. Now, when that situation presents itself this year, they're much more confident. They know where the shots are going to be. They know how many shots they might get that night because of the injuries. It's just a different mindset. And it's a different, and also the coaching staff, they're able to prepare better because of the past experiences due to what happened. So, I think the Grizzlies are going to be able to figure some things. They're going to be able to win games that people may think they won't win. Their style of play, they don't necessarily. Of course, when Ja's out there, you want to have screen action because he creates mismatches whenever he has the basketball. But when Ja's not out there, they're still able to get great offense, cutting to the basket, moving without the basketball, making the right passes, not dribbling too much, using the gaps to make the right reads. Taylor Jenkins is one of the best coaches in the world. So we'll see what happens in this game. Going up against Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. I think Booker is still out with the hamstring. So this is a game that Phoenix, they need to win. I mean, you're at home against an undermanned Grizzly team. This is imperative.
Yeah, especially being at that 15-16 cylinder 500 against a struggling superstar team here without John Morant. Like, this is definitely, and like you said, no Booker, but still with the firepower you have with Durant and Bill, that's a game that they need to be winning right now.
Absolutely. There's some games that finished up earlier today. Got the Bucks and the Pacers, 120-112. Bucks and the Pacers always a nice Midwest rivalry there. They had some history last year. We talked about some of those. We talked about some of those post-game situations. Let's just go to the box score here. So Giannis had 30. What else is new? 30, 12, and 5. Middleton had 15, 7, and 6. And
Dame with only 9? Oof.
Yeah. Lillard didn't play that well. But they were still able to get the dub. Giannis does what he does. Bobby Portis bringing in 14. Gary Trent bringing in 14. Brook Lopez 16. So, when one of your guys one of your guys doesn't have it going, this is where other players step up on the team. This is the only way you can become a title contender. Other guys have to step up, and this is when you do this during the regular season. You can't expect guys to step up automatically once the playoffs start. That's not realistic. These type of games, Lillard may not have it. Giannis may be struggling. the other players I mentioned, they have to make shots, make plays, make things easier for their superstars. So this is a really good win for the Bucks. I didn't catch any of this game, to be honest, but I'll check back on the highlights later. But the Bucks have been playing really well. They've been really well in the last 2 months. Been playing some great basketball. They were able to gel, mesh, figure out that starting lineup, get Andre Jackson Jr. at the starting shooting guard spot. I think once they were able to figure that out, that really helped their defense, their communication, and then everybody else could really figure things out, from Torian Prince, Bobby Portis, Gary Chingy coming off the bench. Those are quality guys. Those are starters in some other teams coming off the bench for you. They're starting to figure it out, and you got to give Doc Rivers and those two superstars a lot of credit.
And Giannis with a 30, 12, 5, and 2 with 2 steals, no blocks. But I mean, that's just great, man. I mean, of course, he's in the talk with the MVP this year, but I mean, it's just such an awesome stat line from a power forward that, of course, Brook Lopez, I think, fits this team perfectly because it clears out the middle quite a bit where he can shoot the 3, with Giannis just downhill constantly. So, yeah, everything that went wrong last year, it seems to be going a lot better this year. So kudos to the Bucks figuring some of this out. And, last week, 2 weeks ago, we talked about Dame has now kind of came out and said that it was odd for his first year not being in Portland, where after a game he could hang out with whoever he wanted to, like he knew what he was doing. This was all completely different. Like, I mean, he probably stayed in whatever house he was renting at the time just to get by until, things settled down in the offseason. So, I mean, maybe it was just more mental stress that they put on themselves. But because, I mean, they're looking great right now.
These guys are human beings. I think people forget that. A lot of people forget that. When you get traded, just because you're making X million a year, doesn't mean you don't go through life. You know what I mean? It's so crazy how people just forget. Like I said, they always try to separate the two. It's weird. So yeah, so it was an adjustment for him last year, but he's been able to adapt his whole career. That's how he's been able to get to where he's gotten to from where he came from. So I'm not surprised that he's been able to turn it around. And we already know him and Giannis, they're cut from the same cloth. So failure is not really an option for them, and they're showing that. And I think it's great to see, because the more threats in the East to battle against Boston is better basketball. And then, maybe a couple more people will start watching the games, and then maybe the radio. But yeah, listen, the more threats to Boston, the better, because again, it creates great hoops, and I'm here to see it all. I need to see all great talent, IQ at the highest level.
One thing I do want to ask you, and this is kind of going off any of our topics, but because you said about the ratings and watching some more, I don't know if you've seen it, but there was a clip that somebody shared on social media of some platform. Who knows what it was, but it said it was showing a highlight clip of who was it? Orlando and the Nets game. And it was just, whatever, it's just a small clip for it. He said, if you think about this matchup on, and I want to say it might have been Christmas or Christmas Eve, I don't really know, but it's been pretty recently. It might have been yesterday, I'm going to say. But it's talking about, we have all these ratings down, and we have this matchup that's being televised right now, and superstar for either one of those teams kind of non-existing right now. He said, yes, before you come at me, Pablo's on his way. There's some of these players that are on the uprise with the NBA, but there's no superstar. And he kind of went on to say, like, if you guys in the NBA stop making these super teams, we'll have better ratings because there'll be superstars that we're trying to watch on all more episodes or on all more teams. So we'd be more entwined to watch more games. I was wanting to know how you kind of felt with that.
You said super team? We're still talking about super teams?
Yeah, super teams. He said if we didn't have super teams, more people would watch different games.
In today's game?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what other super team there is out there other than the Celtics?
Well, I mean, we kind of had this talk last
exactly.
or 2 weeks ago, about how super teams went away. But you were arguing me that it takes 3 superstars. And so I would still consider us super teams, though, if there's 3 superstars.
Who? Where? What team?
Well, let's
3
see here.
Superstars. 3. It's here.
Let me go and look at some rosters. So you don't think there's any super teams anymore?
Yeah, I mean the Celtics.
So they're the only.
They're a super team not because they have. Well, I mean, yeah, Drew and those guys, they'll get in the Hall of Fame, but it wasn't like they were franchise guys or teams. They were great players who made a couple All-Star games, quality players.
Mm-hmm.
And
would you not consider the Bucks?
How could they be a super team?
Well, they traded for Dame, and of course they have Giannis. And really, when healthy, Middleton is a all-star caliber player. And then, I mean, Lopez was a defensive player of the year candidate 2 years ago. Well, I mean, they had Drew Hill. Wow, went way. Drew Holiday.
I just feel like for me, you have to win to even put yourself to even hold that title.
Okay.
So no, I wouldn't put them in the super team category. I put them as
to me, what a super team is, and we differ on that, and that might be kind of some of the difference on our conversation here, is to me a super team is a superstar player from one team that says, hey, I'm going to go to this team and try to win a ring. Like, I would even consider Paul George, whoever he plays with, like technically he's trying to chase rings. Like, I mean, 76ers with Maxey coming up, I mean, he's not a superstar, but I mean, he's an all-star caliber player with Paul George and Joel every other week bead or every other day bead. So to me, that would almost be a super team. It's just, Maxey's close and he's there. And to make these trades and try to get those going on, that's kind of how I feel a super team.
So to you, it's just super team by title.
Yes, not so much winning the championship, but trying to form that team to win it.
Got it. I got it. Because to me, it's like you can't be a super team to actually do something that's to you win. Because you just have a bunch of really good players on the team and you don't do anything, then you're a disappointing team.
And I get that. And well, you're saying the super team is when they're at the top. I'm saying the super team is as they're trying to make. Like, to me, now that I've got a list of actually teams, I would say the Celtics, like you said, I'd say 76ers would fall in that category for me. The Bucks would be in that category. I would even say I won't say the Nuggets because I feel like the Nuggets kind of have made that team, but they're a super team in a way with Jamal, Jokic, but see, that's where I fall off with
the Bucks. The Bucks didn't make that team. They added Dame. Everybody else has been there the key guys still there from the chip.
And I'll give you that. The Clippers, I feel like, are a super team that they keep trying to put together. Of course, they went out and got Harden. They went out and got Kawhi, and then of course Paul George has left them since. The Suns, I would consider a super team. I would consider the Mavericks a super team, and that would be it.
Wow.
Because they're going out for the superstar players to try to win that ring, the super team. That's why I would call them that.
Okay.
And that's why last week I said I don't think you have to win with a super team anymore. Maybe that's why we completely disagreed on that conversation, because you have to go out.
I mean, yeah, we still agree, because then when I asked you, name me the teams that you thought would beat the Celtics, you couldn't. So it's, that's why to me it's like it's still one elite team.
I got you.
Even all those teams with the All-Stars, 3 All-Stars guys, they're still not picking them against the Celtics. So, speaking of the Celtics, you got.
I'm sorry. Let me tell you this. I don't know if you can hear it.
Nah, I can't hear it.
My son is playing our episode right now on YouTube. I can just heard her intro going on.
Oh, nice.
So sorry.
Let's go. Nah, you gotta apologize for that, bro. All right, we got the Celtics getting the dub, 125-71 against the Raptors. I don't know what's going on in Toronto, man. 7-26 on the year. Oof. But nonetheless, it's really about the Celtics still trying to hold down that second seed in the East at home. Lost a couple games. Lost a few games here, and lost a game against the Sixers on Christmas Day. Like, again, we will discuss that. Lost some other games, but was able to get this one against the Raptors. It's a team that's just not very good right now.
And it's so disappointing, really.
Which disappointing for who?
for the Raptors. The trades have made. I mean, I know they got rid of some of their players, but in trading for Quickly and some of the other players that they have on there, of course, I just call out the Kentucky players, but I was hoping for a little bit more of a competition than a 75-125 game there.
Yeah, I think watching them this year, I don't see a lot of fight. Scotty Barnes missed some time. RJ's missed time. Quickly still hasn't been able to get back. Right. I think it's an elbow, I believe.
Okay.
So it's just a weird season. You just gotta. I mean, if you're a Raptor fan, you gotta hope you guys get Flag or Harper or Bailey, one of those game changer type guys, because that's the only way you're really gonna turn your franchise around. So we'll see what happens with Toronto. But Tatum had 23, 8 and 3, 1 steal. Derek White 16, Drew Holiday 14, Peyton Pritchard 19, and Sam Hauser with 28 minutes and 12 points off the bench. Just quality. These guys know how to get shots, know how to be efficient. You put up as many threes as you put up as the Celtics, guys are going to get shots. Guys are going to get looks, drive and kick, create mismatches. Al Horford didn't score, but in the 20 minutes, get 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals.
And that's still plus 20. No points, plus 20.
I don't know how it's still. It's crazy.
I don't know how I really feel about the plus or minus, but just looking at it for the Celtics in this game, plus 11, plus 38, plus 20, plus 29, plus 25, plus 36, plus 28, my goodness, that's being efficient no matter who's in the game, basically. That's buying into the system, and everyone knows the roles that they play, when they're in, where they're at. So that's kudos to the front office on that for sure.
Absolutely. And then the last.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that was myself. I think I'm the one that's in here, so hopefully he'll be joining back, guys. Do apologize. Don't know what happened there, but he said the last game. I don't have it pulled up, so I have to give him hopefully a couple minutes here. Let's see here. We talked about the Phoenix game going on right now, Boston. Hey, good. I was trying to pull up my NBA.com. I had pulled up here anyway, so good.
All right, and then the last game, we got the Spurs and the Clippers. Spurs and the Clippers. Spurs got it done 122-86. I saw a few minutes of this game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough for the Clippers. Hard really didn't have it going. It was just so rough. It's one of those type of games. And I saw Chris Paul throw the lob off the backboard to Wembanyama. Saw that live. That was pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy to watch. Spurs, they've had some really tough losses over these last few games, but they've been able to stay close. They just need to do the little things to win those games. And this really comes down to situational basketball in the fourth quarter. And I feel like they failed in those areas in a few of those games this past week. So this was good to see, to come out against a really good team, a team that's been playing well. Someone like Norman Powell, I think MIP candidate, could be an all-star. Harden's been playing solid. They're waiting for Kawhi to come back. Zubac's playing some of his best basketball, I believe career high in most numbers and most stats categories for him. So this was a great win for the San Antonio Spurs. They need to be able to stay in that range of the play-in just to stay competitive. These wins matter.
Yeah, and I think it's just like a confidence booster too. Anytime you beat the Clippers with the star power that they do have, I think it helps this young team with Chris Paul for sure. So, yeah, looking at the 17-16 record, you're right there behind the Clippers anyways. So, I mean, yeah, good win for them. Good win for them on like a big platform. Of course, they have Wembanyama, so it's going to be televised quite a bit, but I think it's good for them for sure.
Absolutely.
So we want to go talking about streaks.
Sir, let's do it.
So we got some red hot teams right now, or do we want to go ahead and go into like the standings here?
Yeah, we could do that.
especially since we're kind of talking about there with the let's see here, power rankings. I tell you what, let's just kind of combine that then. Let's go ahead and bring this one up about the Thunder, Cavs, and the Knicks are all on a 7-game win streak, while we also kind of go with the standings anyways, because that may help us as far as what's moved, who, where, and on this as well, because the Knicks are playing well, as I'm sure you want to talk about. They are on an 8-game winning streak, to be honest with you. 23-10. Of course, their last 10, they are 9-1, so awesome with that. They're all the way up to 3rd place now in the East. So I'm sure you want to talk about your game there. Oh, let's see who you got first. You want to start with OKC?
Yeah.
Okay.
They have won the most games out of the 3.
Okay. So, of course, CJ,
tell us about your squad, man.
Well, I'll be honest with you. For Christmas and this whole break, I've not been able to watch too much. I can't say that Oklahoma is my squad. SGA is my guy because he played at Kentucky. You guys jump on me a lot for having too many teams, you all say. But my team really for NBA would be Miami Heat, and I'll stick with that. But I like other guys and other teams on here. So I'm a fan of the way that they build it. Not so much like I'm going to go out and buy their merchandise and stuff. So with that being said, I have been a fan of watching OKC grow. This has been really a 3 to 4 year in the making. 11-game win streak, as you can see on this graphic up here. Looking for the match, their longest win streak since moving to OKC. The Thunder host Timberwolves tonight. That's what the clip here is saying. This is still without one of their main guys, one of their first-round picks that they had. So, I mean, the fact that SGA, to me, is the favorite for the MVP because he has his team in the West at number 1, plus this 11-game win streak should add some more fire to that as well. Man, he scores at will. The whole team plays defense and buys into it. There's a clip out I'm sure you'll be seeing soon with your guy, Julius Randle, who is a Kentucky guy, tries to play bully ball, really, and bumps into Dort a couple of times, loses it, passes up. SGA gets the dunk. It's just the fact that they meet any kind of firepower that comes their way, and they thrive with that. I don't have their stats as far as what they do rank in defense, but man, this team, they are number 1. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't want to go out there and say it without it being true. So number 1 defense, man, that's what keeps this going on. And when Chet gets healthy and comes back, this team for the regular season looks unstoppable for this number 1 position. Again, I'm jumping on it. This is their year to really make that noise, to make that push to the NBA Finals. To me, it's almost a bust if they don't reach the NBA Finals. Might be a bit strong, but, I mean, the way that they're playing now, 11-win streak in the mid-season here like this, that talks volume of who they are without, again, they're probably second-best player that they would have. But what I'm saying is I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit because, CJ, you're rubbing off on me a little bit with you can't really be a team until you win it. So they've not done it. They've not proved it. But, man, they stay inconsistent where we've seen of course, this is probably in a 10-year span, but where we've seen Utah be number 1 throughout the regular season and then fall off when it's playoffs. We've seen the Kings now, who've had a couple runs up in the top 3, at least for back-to-back years. And we'll get into them here shortly, too, which was unfair. And then now we've got the Thunder, who's kind of repeating this. Now, can they keep staying up there? That's the real question. But that's looking for a, quote, dynasty-esque later on. But, no, I think this is a really good team that's bought into the whole scheme from top to bottom. So I say that, man, I think this is your front runner to go to the finals. Do you agree on that statement?
Yeah, I do. Okay. I definitely feel like they should represent the West this year based on how they played this year.
Mm-hmm.
And they've added the necessary pieces, Isaiah Hartenstein, and that's the guys they've had on the team just continue to get better. SGA continues to improve his game. Alex Caruso got the extension for over $80 million.
Yes.
Congratulations to him. So they understand what they need and the importance of the guys that they have on their team and their strengths. Mark Dagnall has done a great job as head coach. There was so many questions about who he would be and what type of coach he is, and I don't think he gets enough credit for what he's done and how he's really helped this team. This team has gone on multiple 10+ game win streaks, game win streaks over the last few seasons. they're up 14 now with 9 minutes left. Minnesota has come back. They have come back from games. They came back against the Rockets a few nights ago. I think they have to the game-winning 3. So you just can't sleep in the NBA. They definitely could play spoiler for this historic night, potentially for the OKC Thunder. But just the way they played, they have all the right pieces. The chemistry is elite. Mm-hmm. They just love being out there and playing basketball together. And you see that every single night in how they play. And I think we're seeing the benefits of it right now.
While you're getting that, and I know you're going to be multitasking here, what team do you think best matches up with them in the West? I won't say better or into the caliber, but who matches up with them best?
Denver. Because, I mean, again, as good as Chet is, Hardenstein's great, but Jokic best player in the league. Mm-hmm. And at that 5 spot, man, you have to be locked in against him, and you really just have to really hope he's just not having a bad game, which is rare. So I would say Denver, even though their defense isn't as great, but they still have the offensive power. If Murray and Porter Jr. could get it going and just take it to that next level to just kind of complement Jokic, just slightly a little bit more with Westbrook and some of those other guys, yes. Dallas already beat them, so they have that in the back of their mind. We already know how to beat this team, but that doesn't necessarily mean this year it's going to be the same thing. But I think they can. It's still going to be a competitive series. Grizzlies for sure. If Zach Edey is able to continue to improve his game throughout the season, get confidence, develop. Edey versus Holmgren, whoo! Tell me that. That's what you need in the NBA. You need big man rivalries. And if you could get Edey versus Holmgren for the next 7 to 8 years in the West, at the top of the West, battling Ja versus SGA, Chet versus Edey, Jalen Williams versus Triple J. That's what you need. Yeah, that's what you need right there. So, Grizzlies. Those would be the 3 teams. So to me, those are the only 3 teams that pose any threat to Oklahoma City.
What do you think of the Rockets, though?
To me, they're at the spot where I have to. They're getting there, and they're going to get to the playoffs. And they're
OKC 2 years ago.
Exactly, they're OKC exactly. They're OKC a few years ago. Honestly, that to me they've improved quicker than what OKC was doing. They still and they're playing well as a team, but. I just have to see it. Just have to see it. But I would put those 3 teams first because we've seen those teams already battle tested and have some solid playoff runs.
Okay, because I actually think I don't know why I just screamed there. I apologize. I think the Rockets would be a good matchup as far as the small size guards against small size guards with a couple big guys. I won't say anyone's better, but I think it would be a lot of fun to watch that matchup actually in a playoff. I'm not saying final or the Western Finals, but that's one matchup I like to see, almost the passing of the torch here, like these 2 young teams that are really about getting up and down the court and playing defense too. So, yeah, kind of want to know what you thought about the Rockets there.
It's going to be exciting too. Definitely. They're on their way. Those are going to be the 3 teams that are going to run. And you got to throw the Mavs in there because Luka's still young. Right? He's still 25,
26 maybe.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. What he's already done at 26. So, wow. OKC, Memphis, Houston, Dallas, San Antonio. It's only a matter of time. I mean, the guy's the same. Right? Those 5 teams, 3 Texas teams,
all young,
going to be dominant. Those are going to be the 5 cream of the crop teams in the Western Conference going forward. It's going to be great basketball to watch. And Minnesota too, man. Yes. Yes.
They got to figure something out, though.
Yeah, they do. We'll talk. Yeah, they got to figure some stuff out. Let's talk about the Cavs. Another team.
Now, that's my other team.
I'm just saying,
that's
like other team in the East.
Now, You could at least let the 64 people that are watching right now just gain to 65. Well, thank you guys so much. But if you don't believe me, you can ask CJ for about 2 to 3 years now. OKC and Cleveland, I have been talking about they're so close to being there. Have I not?
Yeah, nah, for sure.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not like no bandwagon or anything. I don't have anything Cleveland. I don't have any. Actually, I do have something OKC. Fun fact: when they first became a franchise, I've got family that lives in OKC, and my aunt actually sent me an Oklahoma shirt and like one of those towels. So I do have some OKC gear, but I've never really been a fan. But I mean, the Cavs with a 7-in-a-row win streak here, man, they just. Whatever it takes, they really do. But again, this is another team that we talk about with defense. We've got a reel out there where I talk about what defense they do, and it's probably about 2 years old now too, as well. But honestly, Donovan Mitchell, can we possibly start talking about him MVP as well? I mean, I don't think he wins it, but when in doubt, Donovan Mitchell's putting in 30 points, 40 points, a game here and really just leading this team. If you've watched them play, when they need a bucket, Mitchell goes and gets that bucket. And, of course, the rest of the guys play defense or a bucket here or there. Garland on this here, of course, got 25 points, 8 assists. Walk off after the Cavs seventh game is talking about this pitcher here. So, I mean, they're number one for a reason. And, again, in the past couple of years, we've had the number one seed kind of disappear. But the Cavs are built for defense, and defense is what wins championships. They're 9-1 in the last 10 games as well. Let me click on their name because I think, let's see here, points per game, they're second. They're scoring 122 points per game. Rebounds, they're 18th at 43 per game. I think that they should be higher up with that with the size that they have, in my opinion. Assists per game, they're averaging 28 assists per game, and that's got them 5th in the league. And then opponents' points per game is 110, and that's 10th in the league. So, the defense could improve as far as the points that they're allowing, but when you're scoring 122, you're also second in the league. So, I mean, you're scoring a lot of points, and the ball is going a lot higher pace tempo, so there's going to be more shots or more points scored too with that. But, man, at least there's 5 is pretty well solid. And, I mean, I think they're going to be making a move for someone in this trade deadline as well. It's just I don't know what piece would be best beneficial for them.
I don't know. Do they need to make a move? I mean, look at the way they've been playing as a team so far this year. Do you really want to mess up that chemistry by getting rid of somebody? Or you want to just kind of keep it going and ride it out with this squad and see where
especially since I'm sorry to interrupt you, but especially since Donovan Mitchell didn't go elsewhere. Like, he didn't ask to be traded away. So, like, hey, look what we did. Like, if we don't make any trades and mess something up, we still running this, and then we can make something next year. So that's kind of cool for him.
For Donovan, I never got the vibe that he was someone that just wanted to go to a big market. I mean, he was in Utah for 7 years, so never really heard. And then he goes from Utah to Cleveland, so it's not like he went from small market to small market.
Right,
still dominated as we see right now. He should 1,000% be in the MVP conversation, no question about it. I'm not sure why he doesn't get talked about as much. Number one seed in the East.
I think it's just because he's quiet.
Jokic is quiet. 1-3. I'm not trying to hear that. I mean, what's the kids?
You're right.
Not giving the media no excuses. Let's tell me why he's not in the conversation. What's up? Right. I really don't understand the media. I don't get the people that cover the game that have these privileges because like how is Donovan Mitchell not in these conversations? If the MVP is the best player, there's multiple checkpoints that you have to be able to cross to have the title MVP. It's not just one thing; it's multiple things, and I feel like he's checking off a lot of those boxes right now. I mean,
yes.
So he needs to be in the conversation. I think as the season continues to go forward, I believe he'll get his proper due, but it should be happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So Garland to me, he's the X factor. I think Mobley has to be the second best player. I mean, it's not even X factor anymore for me. It's just has to be the second best player in the playoff series if the Cavs want to get to the Eastern Conference Finals and or the finals. they want to defeat the Celtics, Mobley has to go crazy. You know, everybody else is playing great basketball, but he still has to be a real focal point, dominating the paint, getting Porzingis in foul trouble, getting Al Horford in foul trouble. If they collapse you, throwing the lob to Jared Allen. Yes, sir. Vertical spacing, man. And they do that right now. They do that. That's why they've been able to excel. And that's why when people said, oh, this can't work, Mobley and Allen, two guys that can't shoot. If you move the basketball and you share the basketball, you make the right reads. If you have high IQ, regardless of position, you can 1,000% make it work. Why? Because we've seen teams already over the last 75 plus years win championships without floor spacing front court players. Multiple championships without front court floor spacing players. So it's not foreign. Is it necessary, and does it help? Yes, it does. But they have a great complement where they have two really good front court guys and two great backcourt players. It's a great combination in today's NBA, and it's a rare combination in today's NBA. And they know what they have. And that's why they're playing at the highest level. And the players around them know what the special four players that they have. Kenny Atkinson coming in the fold now. He's seen this team for years from the outside looking in, whether it be from Brooklyn, Golden State, other places he's been at. He's seen this team, and now he's putting his blueprint and his identity on an already talented team that's done a lot. And this is what we're seeing. And I think it's great. It's great for the city of Cleveland. It's great for this franchise, the city, where where now the discussion is not even about what happened in the past. We're talking about what they could do going forward. And I think that's incredible. That's how you build other teams, other small market teams that may lose superstars and want to know how to build the team back to relevance. Need to look at OKC, number one, obviously. That's the number one team they need to look at. And then the second team you have to look at is the Cleveland Cavaliers. And man, they've just done a phenomenal job.
Also, some stats that I'm just kind of looking at while you're talking about. What's also, and of course, it's the NBA of shooting the threes. We know that as much as we hate it. They're shooting 40 a game, which is high. I don't know how much it's up there, but it's kind of average, honestly. But they're shooting 40% from the three-point line. And not only 40%, they're starters right now. Mitchell is averaging 41%, Garland 43%, Mobley 42%. Then LeVert is averaging 47%. Ty is at 41%. So your Isaac, I'm not even going to try to say it, 49%. But also with that, one thing that I really like, and it's comical that I like it, is Jarrett Allen has not shot a three-pointer. In a today's time where we have everyone that wants to shoot the three, like Jarrett Allen just flat out knows his role and says, hey, I'm not getting into that. So he's not even attempted at one. But with that being said, I went ahead and kind of looked at some team stats too. So with that, I found out that the Cavaliers have the highest three-point percentage in the league at 40%, 40.8. The Bucks are behind them at 38%. Also, they're shooting third in most three-pointers made all year long. They made 523. They trailed the Celtics at 612. So not only are they top in their defensive stats, which they don't really go into too much here, but percentage, they're shooting 50% from, and they're number one in it as they hold field goal. So that's just offensively what they're doing. And that's one thing that we kind of felt that they lacked was the offensive threat from other starters, the small forward position, who was going to go into it. Strus was one that they picked up last year that just didn't happen. So it's almost like the defense that they've had in the past. Okay, now we getting some offense now, and this makes everything look so much more superb of what we planned for. This is what they wanted, So kudos to them making the shots and right shot selections with that, and playing the defense too. So
yeah,
what if you got OKC and Cleveland in the finals? What if that could happen? It's not.
These networks wouldn't like that. The networks probably wouldn't like it because they don't do a great job of marketing teams, so they wouldn't be a fan of it. because it's real easy to get the big market teams on the high stages because it's a lot of population in those cities, so a lot of people will watch it. You don't necessarily have to you're gonna obviously promote it and market it, but you don't have to go above and beyond because you know New Yorkers and most guys they're gonna watch the game. So with Boston, here,
even with us, well, even with us, like if we have a headline that says something Lakers, we get more views because it's the Lakers. And we're not really into that as MNC Hoops. Like we don't want to just say what the media pushes because everybody's into it. OKC still, in my opinion, don't have the hype that they should as what they've done in the past 3 years. Of course, Cleveland has been up there the past few years as well. They're number one. Like these two teams have been number one, and we still don't hear much about them. Like I don't get it.
They got to get to a conference finals.
I mean, I get that part, but still, like individuals, like like we said, Mitchell's not even like really hyped up of what he's doing there. We're finally seeing SGA, like everyone's saying, this is his MVP year because, well, we kind of have to give it to somebody else other than the Joker. But I don't know, man. Like if it's not New York, if it's not Boston, if it's not the Lakers, if it's not the Clippers, I'll say Dallas as well in there. Like there's not much really talked about other than if something goes wrong.
Yeah, it's it's unfortunate. It may not be fair, but how you eliminate that narrative is you get to the conference finals.
Make them watch.
Yeah. Then,
so speaking of one of our teams,
you're already undeniable because you're great, but now once you elevate and go to higher stages in the playoffs, there's only been so many teams left. So again, like you said, they have no choice to see how great you are.
Yep.
If they truly want to see who's going to be the champion, and that's how you attract those casuals. You got to continue. They have to win. They have to win the championship. One of these teams have to win the championship.
I mean, you're not wrong there. I mean, that's really as point blank as it is, guys. If you don't want, or if you want more publicity, make it to when there's only 2 teams left, so they have to watch you play. No. So I know you're about to pull up another graphic, so I'm going to back up from this one because I don't want to say a thing because it's all about that. What is it? Blue skies and orange. I can't remember how it goes, but
I don't really use that quote.
Well, Nick said it a lot. That's the only time I've ever heard it, so it stuck with me a little bit.
Yeah, the Knicks are on an 8-game win streak right now. It's been great. It's been great to watch. This is before these games. New York basketball. It's a page on X. They posted the schedule. Like the games coming up next. They said predict the schedule. I said 7-0. And here we are. So they did what they were supposed to do. This is a we did what we were supposed to do type stretch. Plain and simple. Looking at these teams, right? Washington twice, Toronto, they just got clapped, right? Orlando, good, could be excellent, but we know why injuries, right? Minnesota, still trying to figure it out. New Orleans, exactly. So they did what they were supposed to do, and in that, we got some special. As a Knicks fan, we got some special basketball. That we saw. Brunson, the Christmas game with Bridges. I mean, that was really his. Even though he was a Brooklyn Net for like 2 years, this was his welcome to New York moment. And that Christmas game, it goes right back to what we just said. Just in a smaller instance, everybody's watching you. And so when you play like that, it just people don't forget that. And it was a big moment for him. Yeah, like I said, at the game, it was a great game. It went back and forth. I was actually sitting next to some Spurs fans, and they were actually French, so they were fans of Wembanyama. So like anytime Wembanyama had like 42, 18, and 4 in this game, by the way. In the Christmas game.
Oof.
And yeah, went insane. He was going crazy. So anytime they would cheer when y'all would make the shot, like everybody around the section I was at would just go dead silent. And he would be the only one saying like, yes, let's go. And then of course, once we started making buckets, Man, close game in the Garden. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. It's not the way we ended that game, getting 2 offensive rebounds from Josh Hart. They didn't even foul. They had 2 timeouts. I don't know why they didn't foul with 2 timeouts left. But nonetheless, especially after the first offensive rebound. But it was close. It was great. We made the right adjustments that day. Cat got us in foul trouble. I feel like Tibbs made a great adjustment, going with Precious Achiuwa for a couple of minutes. OG was playing on Wembanyama. Had great minutes. I saw it in person. I was impressed. I was impressed the way he was able to contest and make it tough for Wembanyama, really get him out of his spot. He's a big guy. He's a tall guy. I mean, he's 7'5", right? But OG used his strength to get him out of spots that he may not be comfortable in, and just let the shot clock go down. Him and Precious have great chemistry on that back line. And at that 4 or 5 spot where OG was really comfortable at the 4 spot with his versatility. When Precious and OG are out there, they do a great job on that back line and for the defense for the Knicks. And the way they were able to switch, use their quickness, use their strength against Wembanyama late in that game with about 6 or 7 minutes left, I think it really played a big factor because Wembanyama really didn't do much towards the last few minutes of the game. And Bridges, just mid-range after mid-range, able to get into that spot, that little mid-range spot, fade. It was special. So great stretch by the Knicks. I like what I saw. Josh Hart went off. Everybody played well during these 8 games, and that's what you need. You need to develop the confidence. This is one of the best offenses in the league. Highest assists. I'm honestly, I'm so impressed now that we're one of the league leading teams in assists. I've been saying for years we've been dead last in assists over the last 4 years. It's pretty much since we had Tibbs, we've been dead last in assists, and we're still able to go to the playoffs and win games. So now, seeing us share the ball the way we share the ball, because you have to. We have 4 guys that can score 40. We already have 4 guys on the team in the starting lineup that scored 40 already this year. So I'm just grateful.
Well, it's not too bad. I was looking to see where the Timberwolves were. They ranked 19th in assists per games as a team. And I just thought, well, maybe Julius really is a little kind of a momentum stopper with the ball movement there. But
they don't really have a playmaker over there in Minnesota. Ant's not a playmaker. Yeah. Conley's he's a playmaker, but he's not. He's not Halliburton. You know what I mean? Right. It's different. So, yeah, this is the greatest Knicks team since 70s. Whoa. I mean, it's the greatest Knicks team since the 70s. Talent-wise, when they had the Busher and Willis Reed and Clyde, Dick Barnett. I mean, this is the most talented team. This is the most talented Knicks team since that 70, 73 teams, for sure. That's saying a lot, right? For New York, a big market, right? It just goes to show how poorly the team has been ran. But Leon Rose, man, getting Josh Hart for Cam Reddish in the 1st round pick, that's it. I mean, that's heist. He's averaging 14, 8, and 6 at 6'4".
Off the Ball Network's got a comment here for you. Josh Hart, Mr. Triple Double.
Yes, sir. See, what I'm saying, we're already in tune, bro. Ready in tune. Yo, shout out Chris. What's good, bro? What's good, my guy? It's great basketball.
Did he have a birthday? Did I see he had a birthday recently, maybe?
He had a birthday? I missed that. If he did, bro.
If it wasn't, it might have been. I seen that he put something on for Christmas, maybe. But something caught my eye. I can't remember. Anyways, we appreciate you jumping in here, Chris.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you stopping by, bro. Thank you.
But yeah, to me, Josh Hart is still underrated. And I just kind of going back with this comment there, what little bit I do get to see of the Knicks games, it's always a highlight with Josh Hart hitting a 3 or doing something defensively that I'm just you don't hear much talked about him here. It's usually Brunson or it's Cat, but to me, Josh Hart is, I won't say Mr. Triple Double because I don't know that much, but that Mr. Hustle guy that kind of every team needs that doesn't put up a stat sheet, and that's him.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, all 9 of his career triple doubles have been with the Knicks. So. He's really found a home here. And this is also a team where none of the players in the starting lineup were drafted by the Knicks. Think about that.
That's what's crazy.
Think about that. Where you can build a great team, and none of the players in the starting lineup were drafted by the team.
Yeah, super team. That's what it is. It's a super team. No, it's a team of misfits that nobody could gel together, and they made it happen with.
And they're all made of the right stuff, and they've all made sacrifices throughout their like OG Anunoby. Like you tell no one saw this 41 against the Nuggets in Denver. No one saw that. No one saw that. So, and the way Cat has played, Karl-Anthony Towns should be in the MVP conversation as well. 25, 13, shooting like 43% from three. I think it's like 50, 43, 85 shooting splits at center.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say, bro. I'd say it's pretty great.
I want to say we talked about him needing to be in the 28 to the 30 points per game, but we also mentioned that he needs to be getting 10 rebounds. So, I mean, averaging 13, he's getting more rebounds, which puts him in a lower position there. So, I think 25 is, I mean, obviously it's 8-game win streak. Yeah, what you're doing is fine. But, I mean, we've got the game where he had 32 points, 31 points, where he's leading 32 as well. I wish I would have watched the Minnesota Towns game just to see how that was back for him there, because that's at Minnesota as well. How was the greeting for him going back to Minnesota?
That was great. It was great. He had a great tribute. Did a nice tribute video for him. Good. I think he only missed 6 shots, so he went crazy.
Whoa.
He went crazy. And
it went real well then. Huh?
Yeah, it went great. It went great. And I think everyone on the team wanted to get that win for him too.
Yeah.
And they showed that with the way they just went out and just dominated them from the jump. Yeah, Cat should definitely be in the conversation for MVP for sure. And the reason why I'm cool with 25, it's going to be 25-25 for Brunson and Towns because OG averages 17, Bridges averages 17, and Hart averages 14. So the ball is being distributed. So it's not like it's just one guy averaging 30 and everybody else averaging 10. So I'm cool. I'm cool with how we're playing right now. Let's keep it up.
Sounds good. Of course, there are some other teams that do have a couple streaks going on, if you will. Just to name a couple here, the Hawks that we talked about earlier are on a 4-game win streak. Just looking down through here, the 76ers are on a 4-game win streak. Of course, there's an 11-game streak going on for the Raptors. It's just in the wrong way. But, of course, we mentioned Thunder. Looking through here, 3 games as minimum as you can get. Of course, Timberwolves, who's facing off against one team. And then the Pelicans are on a 10-game losing streak as well. So, some tough games there. I hate the Pelicans. That was the team that we talked about that should be there. We want to go into, we talked about the Knicks are a bunch of teams that are players that were traded to form this team, but they have been some other trades go on here recently. And we want to go ahead and transition to those as well now.
Let's do it.
All right. So the Lakers, of course, we knew were going to have to do something. They've been in trade talks constantly because they're a high market team. So we didn't know what was going to happen, but we did find out now that Finney Smith traded to the Lakers. Yeah, for D'Lo as he returns back to Brooklyn. So I'm going to have to blow my screen up so I can see that a little better. Of course, the Lakers have traded Russell and Lewis for and 3 second-round picks to Brooklyn for Smith and Shake Milton as well. What are your how do you feel on this? And I know I've heard some of your conversations that the only defense that Russell had was in his name and D'Lo, so they needed defense in Lakers, so they went out and got the other one, and over here with Smith. So what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, this is a really good trade for the Lakers. I feel like get defense. I'm gonna read this stat here from about Dorian Finney-Smith real fast. It's a great stat. Dorian Smith is the only player in the NBA this season to defend guards, forwards, and centers, each for 15 half-court matchups per game, according to Second Spectrum. So he's versatile. The versatility on defense is paramount. That's what you're going to need in the Western Conference, and with that is the floor spacing. To me, he's a better version of Jared Vanderbilt because Vanderbilt can't space the floor at an efficient clip, and he's healthier. So, and Eric said availability, production, versatility. I think this is a great move. 6'8" wing, has already played on really good teams. Was on that Western Conference final team with the Mavs a few years ago when they lost to the Warriors. So he knows how to play around with great players. He knows how to put himself in the right spots to get good shots, cut to the basket when needed. He's a high IQ player. I think this is a great pickup. I think he's shooting 37. I think he's shooting 43% from three right now with the Nets. So different type of looks now. Different looks. You're in that corner, LeBron gives you the ball in the corner. It's different. It's different than when you're knocking down shots in the corner with the Nets. It's different. Even with Luka, as great as Luka is, still different. It's not LeBron. It's different. With everything he brings when you're watching the game, and you're with the Lakers. We talk about this every show. It's that double. It's just you. Those are two things. If you just go out there and hoop, play your game, do your part. Laker fans will love you, just like any other fan base. That's how you have to think. You can't be like, oh man, I'm a Laker playing LeBron. If you get caught up in that, it can kind of get you out of wax. I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to play well. I think he's going to produce. I think ultimately he'll end up in the starting lineup. And I think from there, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. He is a guy he's not just a 3-and-D guy. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit, score. He could do some things on offense. He's not just a stand in the corner and wait for the ball to give it to him. D'Lo going back to Brooklyn. Yeah. I just think the Nets are just trying to acquire as many draft picks as possible, and just hopefully they're doing the proper scouting. They better have an elite scouting department. The way they've been able to acquire all these picks, your scout team needs to be S tier. Because if it's not, then guys are going to lose their job. Guys are going to lose their job, no question. If you got all those picks and you don't hit on a few of them, it's over. It's over. I don't know what it does for D'Lo. I just think, to me, he could just put out some really good tape to potentially go to a contender down the road. Cam Thomas and D'Angelo Russell as your backcourt defensively, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Those guys aren't known for getting stops.
Right.
They're known for putting the ball in the cup. They're not known for stopping the other guy on the other side from doing the same thing. So that's tricky. I've been seeing the clips going around of Ben Simmons and D'Angelo Russell when they were on Monteverde Academy at high school. And they're saying, they're trying to bring that back. And that was some special times. But that was like a decade ago. It was like, that was a long time ago. It was a long time ago, literally, like a decade ago, 2015.
A different Ben Simmons for sure.
Much different. I honestly got to be a docu-series down the road of what happened. I don't know what happened. Man. But nonetheless, they're cool. They're friends. Like I said, they went to high school together. So that's some nice chemistry. Can he try to get something out of it? I don't know. Would he get something out of Ben? Can't call it. He's a grown man. So I think him going back to Brooklyn, I think he'll get a nice welcome. They'll probably do the little tribute video for him. Made the All-Star team. Gave them some relevance, like up until they were able to get Kyrie and KD for a little bit to bring the hype completely over. So it's not like they sent him to the gulag. They sent him to a good team. They got a good player out of it, and I think it was a good trade. What's your thoughts?
Well, I didn't realize until you said how many draft picks that they had, or I didn't know how many they had when you was talking about it, but I don't know if you know or not, but I just did some research here.
It was like 30?
31. They have 15 first rounds and 16 second rounds. Let's see here. For the next 7 years, of course. But still, like, some teams don't even have a pick, in the first round this year. So it's crazy. So I think it's good for the Lakers, like you said. I don't want to kind of repeat everything you said there, but it gives him a solid guy that says, hey, I'm only going to play defense, but I can give you more, but my focus is defense. I do think, there's been a lot of players who were shooters that play with LeBron, and then for some reason don't seem like they can hit. I don't know. Like you said, it might be pressure. What's going on with that, playing with one of the greatest in the world to ever play the game, to compare to, well, we know we got to get these shots up because we're not as good. So it's a less stressed, I guess, more relaxed. So I don't know. Hopefully he can be knocked down from that corner, because that's what they're going to need from him, a 3-and-D with other penetrations that he can do as well. But as far as D'Lo going back, I think it's more relaxing for him. Like you said, mixed tape. I didn't know what you said at first, but you said tape to going out there, because he's on an expiring contract. So, I mean, it's basically, hey, if you want to get paid, you come with us and just do your thing, and we're not going to try to keep you. Like, we want you to go to a contending team, or we may try to come up with something with these draft picks. Who knows? But that would be my conversation with him. It's like, hey, we're thankful you're here in Brooklyn. You're going to sell us tickets because people loved you when you were here, as, like you said, referred to as an all-star. So we're going to hype you up as much. Hey, welcome back, D'Lo. Come support him. D'Lo jerseys, bobbleheads already, and just go do your thing. And then hopefully we can help promote you to get a higher contract, and then also help promote our team to where we can sell tickets while we are in this rebuild situation. And who knows, like you said, it could be the best pick or choice for them to get Ben Simmons to play basketball. So we'll see how it goes from there. So I think it's methodically a good move by both teams in this. Now, one situation that we did have up, that's our next topic here, to me wasn't very methodically thought out at all, or it wasn't a good move in my opinion. Yes, this team is struggling, but at the same time, everyone has a bad year, or maybe changes need to be made. But the Sacramento Kings has fired Mike Brown. I don't know what it is about this guy. We were on point on pulling up both of those, by the way, CJ. That was good right there for our graphics pulling up. The Kings have parted ways with Mike Brown months after giving him an extension. I mean, how many times have we talked about De'Aaron Fox, Mike Brown, Sabonis, what this team is with Monk, the players getting DeRozan to come in? I don't get it. I know they're not where they were the past 2 or 3 years, but wow, this exploded very quick. And of course, there's a graphic here. I can't hardly see it on my side, but he's scrolling up and down here in case you want to read it. CJ, you want to say anything on it?
Yeah. I'm just see the Sacramento Kings have fired Coach Mike Brown less than halfway through his 3rd season with the team, mirrored in a 5-game losing streak. General Manager Monty McNair called the decision difficult, thanked Brown for his work. Doug Christie will be the interim head coach now. They had lost that game against the Lakers on Saturday.
You said they lost that game.
It says here, Sacramento lost the play-in tournament last year and was off to a 13-18 start this season, leading to the move to fire Brown about 6 months after he agreed to an extension through the 26-27 season. The Kings have lost an NBA worst 9 games this season after leading in the 4th quarter, with the worst one coming in the Browns' final game as head coach Thursday against Detroit. Sacramento led by 10 points with less than 3 minutes to play to only collapse down the stretch. Jaden Ivey converted a 4-point play with 3 seconds left when he made a 3-pointer in the right corner and was fouled by De'Aaron Fox. That gave the Pistons a 114-113 win, leaving the Kings 12th placed in the West. So after hearing that, has your mind changed?
No.
Okay.
Just to be honest with you, no, it's not. Mike Brown, man, everywhere he's go, he gets such a short leash, it seems like, before he's fired right away. The Lakers, I think he coached there, 7 days, and then he was fired. And so now we have this instance, like, why is this guy – Doc Rivers has so many opportunities, but Mike Brown – I bet you honestly, and I kid you not, if you talk with the 4 main players on that team, they would take more credit than what they would give for Doc Rivers. But I can't argue the ring. Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Because I've heard Garnett say, man, Doc Rivers told us to do one thing in the huddle. We got out in the course and said, man, we ain't doing that, and so Yes, he's got a ring. I can't argue it. Robert Horry also has so many more rings than Michael Jordan, but he's not the greatest. So, but my thing is, when I hear the fourth quarter losing all these leads and the last one 10 points, to me, I think, why in the world are we either losing our mental capability, what's going on with fouling a 3-point here? That, of course, that's on the player, but that's your star player as well. Are we conditioned correctly? So, I look at that because when we played high school, we were pretty much we actually went to state, and it was a fluke of a thing that we did. It's just we put it together at the right time. But every game we were down. It's just air conditioning because that's what we bought into. That was defense and being as strong as anyone could be. And we always came back and won games, it seemed like. So to me, this is almost the vice versa of that. What's going on in our conditioning? Are we actually focused with our players? But at the end of the day, I'm making all these excuses on the players. At the end of the day, it goes to the head coach. So, I mean, what I've heard, though, on some of my researching is that Brown mentioned about bringing DeRozan off the bench, and apparently front office did not like that. Now, I have no sources other than what I've seen on some social medias and stuff like that, but apparently it was suggested to bring him off the bench. Front office didn't like it, and now he's gone. So I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I seen that actually maybe today on something. Let me see if I can find it. But what's your thoughts on it? Because I think Mike Brown has completely changed his franchise in his 2.5 years that he was here. We actually know what light up the beam is because what they've done in the past 2 years. And you've lost some close games that, hey, let's get it together. Let's figure out what we're missing here. And so you just got rid of him that fast. Like, what's going to turn for them here? Like, I get it. Okay, you need to make it a stand. Like, the losing we don't accept, but do you have a coach of mind that can come right in and take over and say, hey, listen, we're right back up? Because to me, the West is tough. Like, maybe this could have been, let's see if you can figure it out, and let's make this change in the offseason. Because to me, this almost says now, like, if I'm De'Aaron Fox, okay, yeah, there's been rumbles about me being traded. You just fired my coach, like the one that actually had us winning here. Yeah, I'm ready to go to Miami Heat so we can keep Jimmy Butler there and play with Bam, who I played with at UK when I was in college. So is this about to explode all the way down? I don't know.
Yeah, this was one of these weird scenarios. 13-18 was on a 5-game losing streak, so it just wasn't great basketball. It wasn't great situational basketball either. If you're blowing leads the way they were, 9 games, lost 9 games after leading the fourth quarter. It's not that's definitely a reflection on the head coach and the best player, De'Aaron Fox. So much so they even described like what happened in that game and how he had a mental lapse, which led to a 4-point play. Would I have fired him with 31 games? It's a tough call. I'm not in that organization, so I don't really know like what's what the atmosphere is looking like. The general manager, they're walking through that building every day.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking to players. They're asking players questions. Maybe the role players, guys that may not play, who hear what's going on and try to get insight. All this stuff happens. But it's just like a workplace, bro. It's no different than some of these other places. It's just at a higher level. But most of the things are still the same. And so was there some type of friction between Brown and Fox? Fox kind of shut that down in his most recent press conference, and I think he had tweeted something out earlier today as well in regards to that, pretty much saying like that was never the case. He never asked for Brown to get fired or anything like that. So to me, it seemed pretty reactionary, just based on how they were playing and how bad they were playing. And I think just looking at the West, made a move for DeRozan that you thought was something that would elevate your team, and so far it hasn't done that at all. And so you may be disappointed there. And you also got to look at Miami now. I mean, he doesn't own the team. I mean, I'm blanking on the guy's last name. I believe his first name is Vivek. He's the owner of the Kings. He hasn't done a great job at all since becoming the owner of the Kings. The only thing we talk about is that the 1 year, 2 years ago, where they went to the playoffs. Other than that, the Kings have been a disaster in my whole lifetime. It's just a fact. pretty much outside of the early 2000s, Kevin Martin years for a cup of coffee. They have not been good. They have not been good.
Jason Williams.
Yeah, exactly. 2000. Yeah, that's right. Right. Since then, they haven't been competitive or relevant, and they've had some really good players come there over the last few years. Cousins, Fox, obviously. So this really again is just a reflection on their owner. Just this. Another head coach fired. Now the question is, will you be able to keep De'Aaron Fox? Because there have already been discussions about that. There have already been possible trade, rumors and destinations where he might go. Sign a Rich Paul. So, once you sign Rich Paul, you're either getting a bag where you're staying or you're getting a bag when you leave. Which is, if you're an NBA player, he's doing his job. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. And so, but that's just what it is. He's a part. He was the head agent in the player empowerment era. So why, if you're a player and you want to go somewhere, get the best deal, and then also help the team that you left, not completely gut that team, and understand I still have a lot of respect and love for the team that drafted me. I don't want to just give them nothing, and try to make it a fair deal and a fair trade to where I want to go, and then the team that I'm leaving still has something to work with on the back end. That's the perfect deal. It doesn't always work out that way. I don't know what's going to happen to Sacramento, to be honest. They have talented players, but it's not working and it's not producing into wins. And somehow late in the game, late in the fourth quarter, they're not able to come together and get the necessary stops, and then also put teams away. So again, you got to look at the guys on the court, and then you also have to look at the head coach too. So you're not going to trade Fox first, so someone has to be the scapegoat. It was going to be Mike Brown. This just always happens, when teams with all that expectations, and then they exceed expectations, and now everybody expects them to be there every single year, be dominant, and then you miss the playoffs, and then now you're 13 and 18. Questions will start to arise. You're going to start to have doubt and negativity seep in, and this is what happens. Doug Christie's been around the league for a long time. He's been with the Kings organization for years. I'm surprised he hasn't been the head coach already. I feel like he should have been the head coach a long time ago. He's been on all the coaching staffs. I feel like whoever goes through there, he's been on the coaching staff. Obviously,
he was a player the last time that they were really good. Yeah, okay.
It's the same. Former Sacramento King. He was on those teams. Jason Kidd coming off the bench. Jason Kidd, Chris Webber. So, what's his philosophy like?
I totally think you said Jason Kidd, by the way.
Jason Kidd. I'm gonna say Jason Williams.
I was like, wait a second, that's my favorite player. No.
So yeah, just what's his identity and what is he going to implement with this Kings team, and what's going to change now that he's the first voice now, the only voice. So
I will say,
I see it being much of the same, because they still don't have guys that play great defense. So floor space.
Because Mike Brown brought the Golden State Warriors philosophy, basically. Run it quickly. Everyone's positionless, basically, and let's get up to the court and try to shoot a three. And he took De'Aaron Fox and made him more of a inside the arc shooter with the mimicking Steph Curry, basically. Hey, let's get you up here, elbow, and let's pull it here instead of dance around, shoot the three. Monk was going to be possibly your Klay Thompson as far as can catch fire and have 60 points on 2 dribbles if need to. But they also had Murray, I think it was, as well. So, they've had those different players. I'm sorry?
They had no Draymond.
Right.
That's the problem.
Is kind of the Draymond, but no. Definitely not the craziness. And then we've said for years now that they need that solid 5 guy that they never went out and got. So, again, that to me, it's front office, because you're playing Sabonis in a mismatch size, undersized 5 when he would be much more better at that 4. And we're average Joes that can tell you that needs to be fixed, and it never was fixed. But I did find the article here. Let me just tell you, Lou Williams is the one that was quoted saying that in the office or inside, I'll say the locker room, that he suggested possibly bringing DeRozan off the bench, and apparently that did not go well. And the next day he was fired. So there's that. But Sacramento, man, you had a chance.
Come off the bench for defense.
Yes.
And shooting. So it's like I didn't understand the trade. I did not understand the trade when they got him. I was like, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't make any sense to me.
No, we even talked about it that, like, okay, it's great to have someone that's offensive threat there with you. Yes, we get it and we understand, but like you need the 5. That was our biggest thing we kept saying. There needs to be a solid 5. They should have went out and asked Cousins, hey, man, do you just want to come back, have a reunion tour basically for you here of what you were here, and let's still keep these young guys going. I mean,
only in 2K, brother. That would happen. That's only happening in 2K. I don't think he's not coming back. So, yeah, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I think this could be the last step, and then the next step could be Fox is traded. This could be the step before the ultimate one, and we're just watching it in real time. So just gotta have to see what happens.
Yep. Headline right now: we're watching the fall of the Kings.
I don't think it's. I mean, what did they fall from? We had one good season,
but it was. I mean, I think they've had at least. I think they had 2 good seasons. They were definitely coming on because I mean, even De'Aaron Fox was the most clutch person, and then they had a good run in the regular season, and they made it to the playoffs, I think. And then last season they had such a great run, and a great playoff appearance against Golden State, and to take Golden State to 7 games. And
last year they made the playoffs.
Year before, okay, so year before you caught me on that one, but and I think it had them up there to being relevant. I mean, it didn't have them. Sadly, they're going to be falling back to Portland more than likely, like in that lower case. Like
once they trade Fox,
yeah. So I mean, they have no identity now. Like Mike Brown brought them to what they are in the schematics of up pace, shooting way early in that shot clock, trying to shoot the threes and let's score as many points. And now you fire the guy that everyone you have got the roster to be around that style, and now who's going to take over? I mean, whoever they come in, if they come in different schemes here, then more than likely De'Aaron Fox is not going to be happy with without a fast-paced team because he's Sonic, man. That's how fast he is. So, like,
I think keeping Christie there is good because he already knows some of the plays that Mike Brown might have implemented that have helped the team. But he also has to implement his own style. He can't just copy and paste what the other coaches are doing because then the players won't respect him. Oh, this guy's just doing the same thing. Well, that's coach did. So that's what I'm really interested in seeing. He's been there for a long time, and he never got the call. He never got the opportunity. I don't know why. Maybe he just wanted to be. This is what he wanted to do, and then wait it out. And here we are. I mean, so he has a clear opportunity to. I mean, they're only 5 games under 500. It's not like their season is chopped, but it's just people are looking at the West and saying the margin for error is so small. There's only but so much you can really do. And you have to win these games, and if you're losing games being up in the 4th, it's not a good trend. It's not a good trend. So I'm Doug Christie, De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis. I mean, those are the 3 most important players on the people on the team. So they have to come together first, and then everybody else will follow. But defense has to be the priority, number one. And I don't see anybody in their starting lineup that plays defense. Fox, like that's it. That plays elite defense. I don't see it.
No, because I mean, I think Sabonis tries and is capable, but again, just being undersized at that 5, it hurts him so much.
Like he's in that he's that Jokic play style. The thing is, Jokic is 6'11", 7 foot, 280.
Yep.
So it's like, yeah, he's not a great defender. He'll never be a defensive player of the year. or he'll probably never make an all defensive team, right? But he's so great offensively, and he's so tall and he's so strong. So Sabonis has some of those qualities as well. He's shorter, by the NBA standards. He's shorter. He's not a true center, like you said. He's not a true center, so he can't he's still dominating, but it's not to the level as where he can't stop Jokic. You know, he's not able to stop Jokic. He can't guard him, and they don't have anyone on the team. I don't know why they haven't been able to get that rim protector to make it easy. But also, Sabonis is not a great floor spacer. So if you slide him to the four, if you slide him to a 3-point shooter, I should say. So if you slide him to the 4 spot, that means he's going to have to shoot the ball a little bit more. Or if your 5 isn't a great shooter, and they need a Brook Lopez. They need a Brook Lopez. Yeah, but things like there's really how many Brook Lopez?
There's not many of them.
Yeah, especially hanging around now with 30 games in. There's none.
No, it's not happening.
There's none. So they put themselves in this predicament.
Yeah, they really have.
Monte McNair. I mean, you built this team, so you have to look in the mirror every day and say, "This is the team I built," and we'll see how he's able to adapt. A trade is imminent. I don't know if it's going to be a Fox trade, but it has to be some type of trade to help them. If not, if they don't make a trade and they stay put, more discussions will be had.
Yep. Speaking of being 30 games in, there's someone that's about to make a return to the NBA. One of these names that we know quite a bit that we wish could be healthy. And let's go ahead and bring it over. We've got Kawhi Leonard set to make his return soon. Sadly, though, I don't know if you've seen the picture of his knee that was going around social media. It said that his left knee, I think it is, looked like it was one turn away from having a complete knee replacement. So it was an ugly-looking knee picture, but it is what it is on that, and I think it might have been a bad angle. But what we got here?
What we got here is
a willow tree.
This is actually I think it's a New Balance Kawhi video.
Oh, okay.
Kind of foreshadowing his potential return. Set to return, they're saying January 4th.
Okay.
So we'll see. So Kawhi, I'm gonna say the 7th. They're gonna prolong. It's just wait a couple of days. Let's just
he's back, but he's gonna rest this day.
Yeah, it's a couple more days. Yeah, just lock that in. But now here we go.
Hey Kawhi, I know you're super busy right now, but we really need you to get back with me. We really gotta go over this upcoming schedule. And I get it. You got a lot on the plate right now. You got recovery, family, all the different things
We got exciting news coming out of Los Angeles. Kawhi Leonard looks to be returning to the court pretty soon. Could be great.
Yo, I knew I could find you here. Catch anything? Nah, not yet. There's been good days. There's been bad days. But I keep coming back. It's the nature of the game.
Okay, so man, a few words. I think that's the most he's ever said anything in any commercial or anything. So he seems ready, locked in. In. For him to do this, I mean, this he's not doing anything close to videos or video packages. Like this is right, exactly. So I just think he's ready to return. He's healthy, feels good, in shape, and really ready to help this Clipper team. I think they're 19-14, so perfect timing. Perfect. Like it took the L tonight, but again, it's just more reason for his imminent return. It's going to help this team. When he's out there, when he's on the court,
one of the best,
top 5 on the planet, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. It's not. It's just, but. We just know what the caveat is. We know what the caveat is. Special on both ends. both ends. Rare. He just gets a stop, and then on the other end, it's just tween, rise up on a couple dribbles. Can't stop the mid range. Cyborg. So I hope he's healthy. I hope he can stay healthy. I hope this is the year he can stay healthy. Have a great rest of this regular season, solid 50-something games, and then go into the postseason and have a solid run. Because if he's healthy during the playoffs with this team, Ty Lue coaching, you can't just say, they're gonna beat the Clippers in 4 games if he's healthy. Can't say that based on what we saw against Phoenix a few years ago. I mean, it's probably 40, 38 on KD and Book. Then he got hurt, so we don't know what was gonna happen in that series. We had it going 7 after watching the first couple games. Like, these guys. I mean, him and KD was like going 35 or 35. Like, this is good. Yes. This is what I wanted to see, KD versus Kawhi. Remember, we didn't get to see KD versus Kawhi in the finals. We missed that because of injuries. Yep. So if we can see it again, I need to see a healthy series, KD, Kawhi, Harden, Book. Let me see it just one time. NBA gods. Maybe it might be this year. So I think this is gonna be the year. I'm gonna put good energy out there for the Clippers and for Kawhi. Steve Ballmer, man, his patience. Woo. Let's talk about patience and he's a real one. He's a real one. A lot of owners might have been little antsy, parent. It's time. I got to blow it up. I got to get rid of him. But to me, what it shows me is he's seeing what Kawhi's doing behind the scenes, and he knows what Kawhi and the work he's putting in to try to get back. Understanding like it's just unfortunate situations with this game. You get hurt, things happen, but. Got the new arena. That's gonna be big. That's gonna his return back in the arena, getting the crowd love. It's gonna be good vibes. So 2025. Let's see if this is the year that Kawhi Leonard could bring it all together again and have a solid run. Because if he can, that just adds even more excitement to an already exciting conference.
Yeah, for the fact that we're talking about this team already, what place were they, or what's their standing? I want to say 7 or 8. Let's see here. That's East.
Clippers are
7.
Are 5. Or they might have dropped. Yeah, they dropped 7 now.
They dropped. Yeah, so they dropped to 7. So we're talking about the play-in right now without top 5 went out there. I mean, they obviously jumped the Lakers for sure, that 6th spot right away, just being healthy. The Nuggets, I don't think it really matters where they're at, but I don't know how much higher they go up on the list if he's healthy for the whole year. Might maybe take over Dallas, but I mean, Dallas are so there. They've been hurt so many different games this season, so I don't really know where to judge them. But my thing is, what tickled me was the fact that you said, hopefully this is the year that he stays healthy. We're 30 games in, he's not played yet. But, that's good for him. It's just, kind of comical. Like, if we get 50 games out of him, it's a whole healthy year. Because as a fan of the NBA, I feel like we've been deprived this guy's career. Every time it's starting to take off and we see it again, he rolls an ankle or he does something to a knee, and it's just like, okay, he's going to be over here this year. He wins a ring with the Raptors, and then, we're hurt again, so let's just – see what goes. We just get teased a little bit of what he can really do. So if the Clippers buying into, like you said, the new arena, the new logos and everything, which I don't like the logo at all, but if this would be the year, that would be great for them in this transition of a new era for them. They just lost, Paul George back in the offseason, but they kept Harden, who's playing well with this team. Adding Kawhi to it would be phenomenal for sure. So it would be a great storyline if we can get him healthy. So hopefully it happens. But, man, what a career. This, to me, at the end of another 20 years or so, we'll have another, like, hey, this would have been our Grant Hill of our generation of what we hoped we could have got. And I hope that doesn't happen, though. I hope we stay healthy.
Yes, I agree. I hope that does not happen. He's already done so much already with the injury. So,
yeah,
exactly. So, Hopefully, it's not one of those what if, but we'll see. We'll see.
Someone who's not had any of those what ifs for his longevity of his career. I talked to my kids the other day about trying to eat healthy a little bit and exercising, and said, this person spends about $1 million on the upkeep of his body every year. And said, what, really? Of course, LeBron James just turns 40 and has been so healthy. Kawhi, why haven't you been paying attention to what he's been doing? I don't know why, but of course, 1,807 games played, 69,434 minutes played, 49,293 points, with 18,016 field goals made, 2,936 three-pointers made, 13,988 rebounds with 13,300 assists, 2,700 steals, 1,400 blocks, 148 triple-doubles, and 1,164 wins. Those are a lot of stats for any player. That's awesome of a career. That's all you can say about it, man. So happy birthday, of course, to him. I think it was a couple of days ago, to be honest with you. I'm not really for sure, but happy birthday to LeBron, and congratulations on a great statistic career.
Yeah, 40, still playing at a high level. I mean, these numbers, I really don't know how you can really argue this. When you talk about the game of basketball. But top two, definitely, to me, top two, top three, however you want to rank that.
Right. Who cares, really?
Yeah. But what he's done, if you watch his whole entire career, from 2003 to now, just see the extended dominance, making his teammates better, the defense, going to the finals 8 straight times. We will never see that again. Like, you could say the East was weak, and you could say all the narratives that you wanted to throw out there, but you're never gonna see a player go to the finals 8 straight times again. You won't see it. I don't think you'll see it. Because the last person to do it was Russell.
Yeah.
The last person to do it was Bill Russell, bro. So, man, listen, it's just on a different level. It's on a different level, career-wise, and he's done.
Go ahead.
No, that's it. I mean, that's it. He's done everything in this game, and
I was just going to say, most of the times you've got a saying that we say around here is a jack of all trade, but a master of none. Well, in LeBron's case, he was a master of all trades, really. He obviously was a wonderful rebounder, a wonderful passer, even with fancy passes. 2,700 steals in a career is great, too. He was a shot blocker as well. And not to mention, he was a scorer. So, when we talk about Michael Jordan being the greatest, who is the greatest? He was just a flat-out scorer and could play great defense, and he just did amazing things. He had games and seasons where he was a good passer, but that's not what he had to do. When you got LeBron James, everything that he did was technically really great. So it's hard to say that, he just didn't do anything phenomenal. Like, I think of Ohtani Show, the pitcher. There we go. I'm mixing them up here, but he's a good pitcher and a good batter, which makes him great for baseball. With LeBron, I mean, really, he's great at all the stats. Like, you've got a 5-tool baseball player. He's a 5-tool basketball player, what he does. I mean, he's averaging, I don't know for a career, but, I mean, he's almost averaging close to a triple-double in all stats. Let's just be honest. I mean, he's going to be probably 25 points a game, 8 rebounds with 7-8 assists. He's always flirting with that triple-double with those while maintaining the basically the captain out on the court. So, I mean, obviously, he's a master of all when it comes to basketball. I'll give you that shout out. How about that, LeBron? Is that okay? As much hate as I brought to you, will you accept that from me?
Yeah, just everything we've seen in the playoffs, regular season games, still going strong. He said if he wanted to, he could probably play another 5 to 7 years. I guess, I mean, that would just be up to him. I guess that would just be up to him to see what he does. But like I said, hell of a career so far, and to be able to play at this level at this age is already unprecedented, and he's just adding to his legacy.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Of course, what I think it was really cool when I seen it, but of course, just a kind of shout out for being a human being, I guess. Here is, Wemby is playing chess in New York City. Most people would not probably take the time for doing that, but what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I thought this was cool. I saw his tweet. I was actually outside around his tweet. I wasn't around the area. I just happened to be outside on my phone and see his tweet on X. I was like, yeah, this guy's going to play chess. He was like, where's a good spot to play chess? And in New York City, and of course, Washington Square Park is the place. That's where everyone goes. That's where you see all the top chess players that go to the city and they compete. Old people, all different types of ethnicities, diverse people. They go over there, play chess. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to watch. Been there plenty of times. Then when we in the rain, it was bad weather. It was bad in the city. That it was raining like pretty much for hours. Especially early morning time. Came out, played a couple chess. Played with a couple pro players. So it's an experience. It's a vibe. I mean, again, he's coming from France. He's not from here. He's not from this country. So when you hear about NYC, I remember him taking the subway last year when he got drafted for the first time, stuff like that. So you hear about it, you read about it, you watch videos, but it's different when you live it. And that's what he's doing. He's living his life, going out, playing chess with people. Again, he's going to be the face of the league. He's going to be the face of the league. After LeBron, KD, and Steph retire, he will be the face of the NBA. That's just what it is. So him just continuing to be himself, I think it's just going to continue to help him grow in his popularity. And these are the early stages of it. Second year two. Look at the impact he's already had on the.
What is he? 19?
I think he's 20. I think he's 20 now. Yeah.
Okay, but still. I mean, he's still a kid, so I mean, it's really cool that he wants to get out and just be a part of the world, and you can see, obviously, we only see 3 people back there, but he's drawing a crowd just because he's just there, So the fact that he'll be with the people, like it's refreshing to see that someone knows that, hey, I'm an NBA player, but I'm still here for you guys as fans too to relate with you. So I think it's really cool act by him.
Yeah, just living his life. His life. I think that's great. And if you're the NBA, you have to be excited. You have to be excited about this because you're already marketing him as an alien, not from here. Because of his physical traits. So now he's doing something that that's normalized. Like people playing chess in the city, coming together. He's doing stuff that everybody does. It's when you become more common and you bring it back. To a human element to it, even though you're playing sports, that's how you develop the fans. So that's just beautiful to watch.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're getting up to we're over 11 o'clock. We got a few more topics we don't go through here, but we do want to give you guys
more topics till 2025, baby.
So another act that these 2 players might have been trying to do instead of playing chess, they was trying a different game to maybe get to relate with more fans. I'm not really for sure, but is of course we had the Thompson Hero fights. Hero, once he got the hip toss, he kind of got out of there, and I mean, I don't blame him a little bit. He's a little scrawny compared to Eamon there, but did you watch this or did you just catch it on the highlights?
Did I watch the game?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I watched some of the game. I didn't see the whole thing. Of course, I saw this. I mean,
right.
If you didn't see this, I don't know what you're doing. You don't love the game. I don't know, but
yeah. Plus, the chirping afterwards was great too.
And then Hero dropped something on Instagram today.
I haven't seen that one still.
Yeah, I think a little subliminal shot. We're gonna pull this up again with the audio. Again, we do not own any of these clips. Disclaimer, NBA, listen, we're just trying to make it and change our lives. We're not trying to take your clips for profit. We don't own any of these clips. Disclaimer. I mean, it's sad I have to say that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we giving you shout outs, guys.
Let's see. Let's start this up. Here we go. Amen Thompson versus Tyler Hero. Ready to rumble.
Let's see what the. Oh! A fight! Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, and Tyler Hero all involved. Madness on the floor here in Houston. Thompson went after Tyler Hero. Heat having to be restrained. Hero looks hurt. No, Hero's okay. Amen Thompson down at the other end. What a bizarre scene. We'll have to unravel it with a replay. And Heat Nation, you and we will see it together in seconds. Wow. Watch how it erupts. The bump between Hero and Amen Thompson. And then watch what Thompson does. Whoa! Oh, wow.
Hero shook.
He's going to get tossed out of this Absolutely. Game. And Ime Udoka has to be restrained by his security staff. But is left in the.
So this was great. This was great. Two young players in the league. You know, Hero's been in the league for a little while. He's still young. I'm in Thompson's second year. He's battling. Tyler Hero was going off in this game. He's going off, little banter. Hero said, and you know, I do the same. You know, I can't blame him. You know, he was getting cooked, scoring dimes and everything. So it was a nice comeback from Hero. He did manhandle. He did get manhandled. That's what we saw. I mean, to me, to me, in my mind, I could never see any man ever do that to me. But it's different. He probably didn't expect him to do that. You know, he probably just thought it was just going to be some shoving and maybe the refs are coming in because you know these guys are really not going to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they look like Amen might. You know, he might be about that. Maybe. But nonetheless, these guys they're not really like that. And they're not really like that. And the refs, the refs coming in and the coaching staff coming in. I like what Ime said after the game. Like he was like it's clearly one guy stronger than the other. Like he was saying he did a great job of saying like obviously he could have went about it a different way, but not completely throwing his guy under the bus. Right. It's still saying something like that. Like clearly, you know, one guy is stronger than the other, so it's okay. I think that was pretty. And he was kind of that guy with the Spurs. He was the Spurs, kind of enforcer type. So perfect for the Rockets. Perfect. Now, yeah, I mean, this is not a perfect clip. This may not be something you want to show kids. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, hey, this is how you should play basketball. But for the adults, right? You know, grown people, this is good for this team because you need some toughness. You need some grit for the young team. You just can't have a bunch of young guys that's super finesse, don't want to take chances, don't want to be a dog. I think Amen Thompson is going to be like the Draymond of this team. I think he's going to be the Draymond. He doesn't score a lot. He plays defense. I dropped the clip earlier about him being in the dunker spot, vertical spacing. He does a great job of that. When Jalen Green and Shengun draw two, he's always at the right spot scoring. So he's going to be good. And Tyler Hero, man, he's playing great basketball right now. I think he's top 10 in three-point makes in the NBA. Having a career year. He was having a career year last year. Kind of got nicked up. And it took a couple steps back, but incredible. I'm playing incredible. With Jimmy out missing time, they've been able to win some games. So two young guys going at it, scuffling. I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, Amen Thompson got suspended for 2 games. Terry Rozier got suspended for 1 game for jumping in and defending this guy, as what you're supposed to do. Defending the guy always. And I don't think the suspensions were over the top. 2 games sounds about right to me. No punches were thrown. Just threw him to the ground. I'm cool with it. Man. this is good, man. We need some type of, like I said, I'm not saying fight night, but I don't like you. Like, when we step on the court, like, you're not my friend. Like, we're not about to, hey, nice shot, brother. All right. Like that's just not what we're trying to do.
And it always seems like Miami's in it no matter what. You know, we've had, well, of course, Miami and the Nuggets a couple years ago. Miami, who was it that Butler was saying, beat me around back? I can't remember. But we've had, or was it Chris Paul? I think it might have been.
Was it TJ Warren?
I can't remember.
Might have been TJ Warren.
I think you might be right.
Might have been a few people. You know, Jimmy got static with a couple players. Man.
So now we've got this too. And honestly, I'll give this to Tyler Hero. I think, you know, when he grabbed him by the jersey and pulled him towards him, like Hero's already coming at him. So the momentum of him coming at him and then pulling. I'm trying, CJ, leave me alone here. Yeah, he got manhandled on him. But but at the same time, at least he still backed it up with some trash talking too. It wasn't like, you know, he put his tail between his legs and went on about business. Like, hey, when you're getting cooked like that, you got to do something, you know. And of course, like you said, the career, like he's leading the team in points and assists. So this is the guy that we talked about 3 or 4 years ago. He can't win with that guy as the second or third guy, and he's stepping up to show that he can be one of those guys. So it's kudos for them, and of course, it's great. Like you said, we need rivalry, because when we don't have rivalry because everyone's best friends, it's weird basketball. So it's almost like everyone's their friends at AAUs, and now they're in the NBA, and all they worry about is making the money. But I get it; you want to make your money, but at the same time, us as fans, we need rivalries.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Creates great stories between the cities of each team. It's perfect. And then with social media, you should definitely shift towards that for sure. Yeah. Because now you're creating more social media action and situations there.
I think Pacers and the Bucks, you know, that's been a conversation we've had ever since the stealing of the basketball. You know, when we have some grit going on, it makes everybody kind of tune in just a little bit more, because let's be honest, nobody really watches hockey to watch the puck go back and forth because you can't keep up with it. We're waiting for that fight to break out to where someone's like going to say, hey, I'm bigger and I'm tougher than you. That's just what makes it goes around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Physicality. Let's bring it back, man. What's up?
Yes. Yes. I mean, that's why we still have highlights from the 80s and 90s. And it's usually someone's getting their necks broken because they're trying to fight for a rebound, or someone's just taking a straight punch or a slap to the face when the refs aren't looking. Like, those are happy clips, sadly, for us. For what we
I'm not saying we should go back to that. Like, I know you're not saying that too, but I'm just like in terms of the rivalries, and yeah, it's gonna get physical. Should get physical. Milwaukee, Indiana, like that should be like that shouldn't be a finesse game. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That just shouldn't be Boston, New York. That shouldn't be a finesse game. So
like these whole trading of jerseys. Like I kind of hate those, because it's like, hey man, I'm so glad I got to go against you. Can you take my jersey so I can have yours? Like when I was younger, at least, and I'm sure when you played too, when you step on the court, you didn't like your best friend if they played for the other teams. Like, hey, for 60 minutes or whatever minutes long, like, I don't like you. Like, it's just how it is. Now the game's over. Hey, we can be buddies again. But I'm not going to go up to you like, hey man, you're awesome. Like, your team beat us. Here's my jersey. Can I have yours? Like, no. Why is that a thing? Like, I mean, I get it for the retirees, or, you know, the people out there like, hey man, you know, I'd like to have your jersey. Okay, that's cool, but let's not advertise that. Like, let's not put on social medias or media coverage, because it looks cheap to me, to be honest with you. Like, our superstars are going out here to switching jerseys because they went head to head. Like Michael Jordan, I guarantee he probably has never had a different team's jersey into his house, you know? But these guys are collecting them. Like, you don't like each other a little bit for this season. It's okay. Like, it's called competition.
It's different era. It's different era.
Sure
they compete, but it's just like I said, it's just different era. And the AAU really AAU changed that, right? Because now AAU brought all the top guys in the country together, and they became friends. So now when he goes to the NBA, it's not, I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Back in the day, there really wasn't AAU. It was AAU. There were circuits, but it wasn't the same. It was just in your region. You weren't
Region,
going
yeah.
from different. You weren't going from different places of the country and teaming up together and creating a super AAU team and just competing in these summits every summer. It wasn't like that. So it's just, the mentality is different, scenario is different. How the game evolved in terms of that has also changed. But I still feel like in that still, so what? I mean, you still got to go out there and win the game, and you just can't let your. We're just gonna let your friend go out and throw shots at you every time you guys link up about how many times they beat you. Like no, compete, and the fans that pay money to fill up the seats, they want to see competition too. So
we live in an era though now where, and I ain't trying to dog anybody on that, but like say Miami lost that game, but Tyler Hero still got his buckets. That comment of, hey, he was getting cooked in today's time could still go. Like that comment could still be made. Like, I mean, he was getting cooked. I mean, we got the L, but I did everything I could, and he couldn't handle me on defense. You go back 10 years, 20 years ago, that comment's not happen if you take the L. You keep your mouth shut because you lost. You don't make any kind of comments like that. So, I mean, that's where I feel like the competition has changed. Yes, they compete, but it's individuals competitions now, I feel like. And it's not, hey, it's the name on your chest that you're playing for. It's really just the bag that you're trying to get and the name on your back, which it's still competition. It's evolved some from my time.
It's a little different.
Yeah, it sure is. All right, listen, it's 11:21 actually. What topic are we going into next?
Let's just go to the let's just recap the Christmas games.
Okay.
Yeah, let's recap these Christmas games.
All right, you got it. Good.
Get out of here after that. Spend time with the fam before 2025.
And then maybe some 2K afterwards. But
some 2K afterwards, yeah. There we go.
With the other fan, right?
I like that trend. Those are good patterns right there. Those are good patterns. Speaking of patterns, hopefully this is a trending pattern, a new pattern for the NBA. The NBA delivered its most watched Christmas Day in 5 years, with viewership up 84% versus last year across ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. Sheesh.
Okay, that makes me feel better, to be honest with you, because I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm saying it online, but I borrowed my brother's ESPN Plus to watch some stuff, but I accidentally signed into the Disney Plus to get it. So, let my kids be happy too. And the first thing popped up was the NBA game. I was like, hold up, have they put the NBA games on Disney Plus too? Because there you go. But apparently it was just for the weekend or for the holidays, because I enjoyed it, man. I got to watch the Lakers and the Warriors game. I can't remember what game was before that, but I got to watch two. I think I watched 3 games in a row. And I was able to control the TV for that day. And don't happen a lot when you have 3 kids. So I was very happy I got to watch some NBA solid.
That's good. Okay. So
I hope they keep that.
You're a part of these numbers.
I am 100%. I am.
Great. Okay. The NBA on Christmas Day averaged 5.25 million viewers per game in the U.S. That's good. The matchup between the Lakers and the Warriors, the most watched NBA regular season and Christmas Day game in 5 years, averaged 7.76 million viewers and peaked with 8.32 million viewers. LeBron and Steph, man.
And that game, how it ended, I don't know if you got to watch it, but my goodness, like my son, he's coming into liking this. He was going to bed, and he's like, Dad, like, can I watch this? And Mommy said, no, go to bed. I said, Mom, can we not watch this? It's overtime. Like, let him watch this. And she's like, okay. So yeah, man, it was good to watch that with my kids too.
Nah, yeah, that was fun. That was a great game. Curry hit a big shot to tie it. Then the Reeds get the lead on the layup, the left hand. Not enough time left for Golden State. That was good. That was a really good game. That was a really, really good game.
I think like the Warriors were down by like 9 with a minute left. It seemed like it. I mean, it was 7 points somewhere around there, and just to come back, you knew that second 3 that Steph Curry shot after he missed the first one, and they got the offensive board, kicked it back out to him, the pump fake, step over. You knew it was going in. So, yeah, it was a great game for a Christmas Day, man. It was just awesome to watch that one.
You had Ant going into Dallas, getting the dub. Kyrie had 39, I think. Started really going on that late in the fourth, but it just wasn't enough. Minnesota really dominated the game from start to finish. I think once Luka got hurt with that calf strain, he's going to miss some significant time. It's a tough loss for Dallas. They kind of just lost. They lost all their energy in that game, and it really reflected. Kyrie tried to bring the energy back late. I think they lost by 5 points. It was a close game. Really good game late. All the games were close. Tyrese Maxey had 33 and 12 in Boston. Caleb Martin hit 7 threes in that game against the Celtics. Every shot mattered. Big shots. They were leaving them wide open because you have to show to Maxey now.
Yep.
Just have to. And Embiid played well. It's hit some big shots, knocked down some key free throws late in the game. Maxey, man, 33 and 12. Incredible. He's going to continue to grow and improve. Booker is back, by the way. Grizzlies, Phoenix. Booker 16 and 8, $145 left. Grizzlies up 2.
So Booker is back. Okay.
Booker is back, and KD and Beal, I think they combined for 51 against Denver on Christmas Day. It was one of Beal's best games as a Phoenix Sun. Played it really well. Was able to get to his spots. I'm like, this is the Bradley Beal we saw in Washington. I don't know why. I don't know why we haven't seen glimpses of that more often with Beal. Because again, it's not like they've all played together for amount of games, even though they should. But we just haven't seen him dominate the way he was dominating those last couple of years with the Wizards. So, but this game he played great. He was playing great against Denver, was able to get that win. So this was a great slate of Christmas games. One of the most the ratings, the numbers show exactly what they needed to show. It showed why everything was entertaining. And I had a great time. I watched all these games as well. Obviously, I talked about earlier, I was at one of these games, so it was a great atmosphere on Christmas Day for the NBA. Battling against the NFL, they did a great job.
So do you think the NBA actually keeps this going where it's on all these platforms?
Well, yeah, I mean, ABC owns all of these streaming platforms, right? So it's like, it's not going to change. I mean, they just signed the 11-year deal with Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Next year, so they're going towards the streaming route. Yeah, that's why inside the NBA is coming to an end. They lost the deal with TNT.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Amazon Prime, what's that mean exactly? So is
Prime Video, I should say. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the NBA game is going to be on Prime Video.
All right, I get to watch some more of these. Good.
Yeah, and that's the transition now. You get to see for wrestling fans, you see Monday Night Raw is going to Netflix. Like this scares me. This is the new wave. You know, these companies, they're seeing there are more people, there are more subscribers with these streaming apps than there are signing up for cable.
Yep.
So they're just going where the consumer is.
That's crazy. Would we ever thought TV would go away? Like it's now internet.
Streaming, yeah.
Streaming. Yeah.
Yep. Internet and streaming now. Yep. Now you need the internet for TV. Now you really need the internet for TV. They do. They know how to combine it. And for both of them to come into demand. Smart. But yeah, so Christmas Day, they have to capitalize on this and keep it going. You can't just have a great Christmas Day and then the next month is trash. Right?
Yeah.
Continue to do what we were talking about the last few weeks on the show and how they can improve the ratings. Storytelling, man. That's the way. That's how you gravitate people. That's how you make people stay. That's how you make people become fans of players that's not even on their favorite team. Now you're rooting for a guy that's in a different city because they might have a similar story to him. That's how you grow the game. That's how you develop fans. So
if they're going to
do that,
they need to hit up shorts constantly. Just keep like blasting internets with these interviews. Like, hey, Tyrese, like, all right, what's your favorite food, man? Oh, you like that? So, like, if you're in the city, where's your place that you go? Oh, like, okay, and just get to know these guys so much more. I think, man, that'd be huge for the NBA as far as the following.
Big time. Look at Memphis right now, up 116-109 in Phoenix without Ja.
Whew.
Come on. Jerry Jackson Jr. is out there. No Marcus Smart either.
Oh, wow.
And KD, Beal, and Booker are out there. So let's talk about the Suns real fast before we get out of here. I know we're 30 minutes away from 2025, but
Chris from Off the Ball Network, he put it just now. Pack up the Suns.
Pack up the Suns. Yeah.
Oh, that hurts my feelings.
Yeah, Nurkic is.
Is this how you want to end this year talking about Nurkic?
No, I don't want. No, I'm just saying, man. Man, Phoenix is tough. It's tough. Now the NBA does the last couple of weeks or so. It's been good. It's been good.
Mm-hmm.
The physicality, the back and forth, Christmas Day. I say these first 30 games in the NBA season. It's if I was to rate it out of 10, I'd say a 6. It was a little slow early.
Mm-hmm.
Still a lot of room for improvement, but they kind of picked it up these last few weeks. So that's a 6 for me. What will be your grade out of 10?
I would say there's probably – I'm going to go lower, actually. Probably I'm going to say I'll go a 5 just for the fact that I'm trying to hold back a little bit as far as the hype that's been in it just now. Like in the past maybe 3 or 4 days, there's been more hype than the whole season, really. And then even I just wanted to know what was going to be the games for tomorrow. Like, okay, it's the new year. We've just got through Christmas. What are we pushing with this headlines here? First game, we got Orlando and Detroit. Then we got Chicago, Washington. Then we have New Orleans against Miami and Utah against Knicks. I'm like, okay, this is the very first day of the year. These are some of the matchups we got. And then, of course, we do have a Dallas-Houston matchup. That's at 8 p.m. tomorrow. But other than that, Sacramento against Philly, that should have been a good game. But this is January 1st.
Really good game. If it beats those, everybody plays in that game. That's a good game.
I think for Philly, I think Sacramento, you just fired your coach. I don't know what to really expect on them. But as far as hype, there's no January 1st hype here at all, really. And so I feel like there's a lot of these matchups that they should have really tried to pivoted during Christmas break for everyone's being home, nothing going on, and be able to watch some of these games like we enjoyed through Christmas. So I'm going to give it a 5 because still, some of these storylines, some of these players that aren't being advertised as much as they should be for the way they're playing, I feel like the NBA is kind of dropping the ball. Plus, with the ratings being down, plus with as many threes as we shoot, this is what we're getting, though. So, with that being said, this weekend or this Christmas break has been great for the NBA. Let's see here. Somebody says Cavs are 3-0 on the road trip too. So Cavs are great, man.
Yeah, got a dub against LeBron and Steph in that road trip.
Ooh, that's true. But appreciate you jumping in and before you comment on YouTube. But we talked about the Cavs pretty much 2 hours ago. So go back and watch this at the beginning and hear us talk highly about the Cavs and how they on what are they on the 7-game win streak or 8?
It's 8 now.
Yeah. 8. So check out that segment that we have on this live. We appreciate you jumping in here. CJ, any last thoughts for 2024 about the NBA before we call this a night?
2024, thank you for all your support. Thank you guys for always tuning in, checking us out on our shows. I know all the content that we drop. CJames9_ on X, CJ.James9 on IG, CJ versus the World on YouTube. Trying to go live. First stream of 2025 with a little bit of 2K with my guy Michael, man. Stay tuned for that.
Sir.
Stay tuned for that. So, yeah, just grateful for this year. Grateful for, family, friends, people in my support system. Thank you, God, blessing me every single day. Blessing my family every single day. Without him, none of this is possible. So, yeah, just all glory goes to him.
Yes, sir. I will definitely agree with you on that, guys. It's been fun 2024. Last year, ending the season was we had a lot of momentum with a lot of our shorts that we did, our reels and everything, our overlays with our speaking about the playoffs, and they really got us excited for this year coming into it. I feel like 24 on this season, the first half has been great for us. Twitter, guys, or X, you all have been awesome as far as watching us live here. We got 90 people watching us live at the moment, and 89 are on CJ's Twitter account, so we appreciate that. But we would like for you all to go over to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, or even go to the MNC Hoops and subscribe or follow on Twitter as well. But I do another podcast, as you can see here, Cats Chat. We go live tomorrow, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Talk everything Kentucky. It's been a wonderful ride with that as well. But for me personally, I'm not much into New Year's resolutions because within 30 days I've already broken them. But one phrase that I am trying to work on for myself for this new year is to man up as a father, as a husband, as a Christian leader at our church here, and just for things that go on, man, take the responsibility and man up for what needs to be done and just kind of be a doer this year. So that's going to be my slogan going into this 2025. And I hope, CJ, we man up with this MNC and take it to the moon like we always talked about here, guys. So guys and gals, when I say that, I refer to all of y'all. So just thankful for this year, and of course thankful God's give us another year around the world, and hopefully 2025 we focus on the right things and do it for the whole year.
Absolutely. Let's get it.
All right, guys. You all have a good one. Thank you all so much, and Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year, guys. Stay safe. See you guys next week.